to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series from Barrie Speedway on TSN. We're getting set for restart number 6. Scott Steckly at the point once again.
Hard up through the gears. That 11, John Gaunt, still trying to get that outside to work for him tonight at Barrie Speedway. If anybody can get it to work, certainly it'll be him. He's got a lot of laps here in sportsman and late model stock cars.
Billy, these restarts, Scott Steckly seems to be dominant on them. Can we attribute any of this to the spec engine?
Well, I've heard a lot of criticisms and a lot of praise up and down about whether the spec engine, build engine, which one's better. But I would think that the spec engine doesn't spin the wheels near as hard up off the corner. And I'll tell you, it seems to work on these little short bull rings.
Whatever it is you can attribute it to, Scott Steckly, definitely the man so far in the Wild Wing 300.
3 car on your bumper, broken, clear low, clear low.
Well, the spotter doing their job, but back to the motor program. Some guys will answer you that they're a vacuum cleaner. Other guys will tell you that the built motor is better. But I'll tell you what, whatever it is, the spec motor does not spin the tires up off the corner on restarts, and that's key on these short racetracks.
Well, whatever it is for Scott Steckly, I mean, it's working. Whatever combination they have, they've got it down here tonight in the Wild Wing 300. DJ Kennington putting on the pressure. Jason Hathaway running second. He's having a good night as well.
Wow, the action just is deep in the field. We got the 84 Fitzpatrick way back there with the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr., and they're fighting hard.
That's a battle for the 7th spot, but really, I mean, between 1st and 10th, Scott Steckly and Ron Beauchamp have been out front, but otherwise, you can put any of the top 10 in any position. It just depends how the restart goes.
Absolutely. Whoever gets out front, because track position is so key on these little bull rings. The outside isn't working the best tonight. The bottom hasn't slicked over, so you know where the rubber buildup and a little bit of oil out of the breather and stuff hasn't really come to light yet. So the bottom's the fastest way around. So whoever can get to the bottom first can normally keep the spot, unless of course the bumper comes out.
Well, and I was just going to say that. We're at the point in the race where people are minding their P's and Q's. They're doing the gentlemanly thing. At what point does that go away, Billy?
Whoops, little contact. We're talking about the gentlemanly way, and the 3 gets moved by the 17 of DJ Kennington.
One thing that's interesting, a lot of tire strategies going on tonight. Let's go to the pits with Todd.
Fellas, here's the difference in strategy we're seeing right now. The 22 of Scott Steckly has yet to take on fresh Goodyear tires. The 17 car of DJ Kennington, he's changed his 4. They're done for the night. The team is confident they'll have enough good rubber at the end of this race. Steckly, though, will have fresh rubber. His crew chief, Greg Gibson, said, no, we haven't taken tires yet. It's too early. We'll see which of these 2 strategies plays out at the end.
Them new tires are certainly working good, because Steckly has not been headed all night long. Ronnie Beauchamp had a stint up front, but could not hold the 22 back. So right now, Greg Gibson looking like a hero, leaving his guy on old rubber. At worst case scenario, right now he's second. He's got 1 set of 4 tires in front of him, but you know this race is not going to go green. He'll have a shot at the end of this race with fresh Goodyears.
And the plot thickens because you've got Kennington on 4 tires, Steckly on no tires, and a whole bunch, this pack we're looking at right here, Billy, with left side tires. So they've already made half of their tire change. There'll be less time in the pits, only having to put on right.
This is going to get interesting. I love it when the crew chiefs have a say in how a race turns out.
And that's so exciting as we look out the back of J.R. Fitzpatrick. There's so many factors going to 300 laps at Barrie Speedway. But you're right, Billy. The fact that the crew chiefs can also play such a big part because there are a lot of strategies as compared to a 200-lap race on an oval.
Absolutely. You throw the extra 100 laps in, baby, and everything changes. Whoa, contact the 23 and the 3.
That was a bit of an awkward position there on the track. The battle for 3rd place. Lapsevich on the inside of Jason Hathaway. Both these drivers looking to have a great night. And if either one of them can get on the podium or both of them, I'm sure they'd be pretty satisfied.
The strong car right now, the 23, coming hard. He's got them tires on there, and he wants to get his act to the front.
Well, the only other car we know of that's already got their 4 tires, Jeff Lapsevich along with DJ Kennington. So basically it's in his hands now. The crew chief sends it out there saying, hey, we've done our part. You're on your own. We're going to head to commercial. DJ Kennington leading the way. We're back to Barrie Speedway with the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. It's been a wild one here at the Wild Wing 300, Billy. And really what's wild so far is it hasn't gotten crazy. These drivers are all doing a great job. We're down to the nitty-gritty. 71 laps to go.
Yeah, first and foremost, the 22 of Scott Steckly has been stout all night long, but he's about to lose the third spot to the 3 of Jason Hathaway.
You're racing on 230-lap old tires, Scott Steckly. I mean, he's got to be getting frustrated in there thinking, man, all these guys have fresh Goodyears on, and I'm still on the same scabs I started the race with. How does that affect you behind the wheel?
Well, you do get frustrated, but you know what? He's still got to feel pretty good. He's out there running the top 5 with a car that's got old boots on it, knowing that sooner or later, one of these guys has got to mess up and go around and bring the caution out, and then he'll have 4 fresh hoops to go to the finish.
We look out the back of Don Thompson's home hardware machine.
Up off the corner, you can really see Steckly starting to get loose off the corner now, as those Goodyears got to be getting down to the tread bars.
Not a whole lot of tire left, you got to imagine, as Steckly's losing spot after spot. Fitzpatrick goes by, now Shepard goes by. Dilly looking to get to the inside as well, Bill.
And Mark Dilly doing a great job. He's racing that car with a broken brake pedal.
Well, it's got to be tough for Mark. He's 2 laps down, running in the 12th position. Todd's in the pits of the race leader.
Guys, the longer this race goes green, it does play into the hands of the 17 Castrol Edge car, DJ Kennington. He's pulled out a better than 5-second lead right now, but his crew chief, Dave White, is also on the radio telling him, you can ease up a bit. Your lead is huge. It's enormous. And remember, if you put too many guys a lap down, it may make it easier for Scott Steckly to make a charge later on if we do get a caution.
That's exactly right, because if there is a caution late in the race, you got to have as many cars between you and the next guy as you can. And if you've got lap cars in there, you got lead lap only cars in the top 10, right? So you got to be careful. Don't put too many a lap down. Just hold and maintain your lead at this point in the race.
So much strategy playing out. As we're looking at Jeff Lapsevich in the Tim Hortons 23. Might not be one of the cars you'd think would be up in second spot, but man, he's putting on a drive. He's pulled away from the rest of the top 5.
Well, Jeff Lapsevich, when he first started racing with us, was known as a road racer. But I'll tell you what, Rob Torrey turning the wrenches on that race car. Look at this thing haul the mail on the oval.
You know, they call him Bucket. He calls a lot of the shots from the pit box, and they've done a pretty good job. Lapsevich in second, but here comes Jason Hathaway to challenge him.
Down into the apex of turn 3. They're all racing for spots. We got them sideways on the bottom. The lap cars are really playing havoc here.
Well, and the spotter giving a little bit of guidance. Hey, head to the outside of the 11 car. I wonder why. I'd like to hear what Jeff says in response. Hey, you try driving this thing.
I don't think Jeff responds at all. He's one of them cool characters. Just says very little on the radio. Does his talking with the steering wheel.
This is just what we talked about earlier in the race. The slow cars aren't really slow cars. They may be a lap down, but they're only a tenth or two off of what these leaders are running, and they're running their own race.
Well, as we get later on in the race, it is opening the gap just a little bit as we see DJ Kennington going around that 21 A&W Chevrolet one more time.
Jason White's been involved in a couple of skirmishes, still hanging in there. We've got him side by side for 5th. That's J.R. Fitzpatrick up on the outside of Pete Shepard. If J.R. can't hang on, he stands to lose 2, maybe 3 spots, Billy.
Wow, look at Dilly with broken brake pedal and all, still hauling the mail here at Barrie.
Well, a couple laps down, I guess it's not for position. We should remember that. But we got a lot of different drivers on different laps out there as we go on board with Kerry Mix.
Every lap you get in that race car, you run it as hard as you can run it and keep on moving forward.
We got Shepard and Fitzpatrick. They're on the lead lap. Dilly and Kerry Mix are on different laps, and they're all racing amongst the leader. Kerry Mix is in the top 10. He's running in the 10th spot, but laps behind the race leader. This has to be frustrating for Shepard and Fitzpatrick.
There's the 22 of Scott Steckly, now under pressure. Oh, we got one around backwards.
Wow, and somebody just missed that one. It's Jason Hathaway in the snap-on 3. It looks like he's going to try to get it spun around, but he won't be able to stay on the lead lap.
On board, down the backstretch we go. Here we go, down into the corner. Oh, sounds like a little bit of contact, and around the 3 goes.
That sounded like a lot of contact. Whoa, Kerry Mix with no front end. That would have been ugly if Kerry Mix had hit him with nothing in front of that radiator.
Rockstar Dodge of Jason Hathaway makes a stop along pit road. It's 2 right side tires. The number 4 Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. also making a stop for right side tires. And the much anticipated stop for the 22 of Scott Steckly. Right side tires going on there as well. We'll see if these cars have enough time to charge back toward the front.